Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today. It's been about a month since my last video, so I figured it was time to make another update because I have some cross-stitch projects to show and a little bit of knitting to show. So I will start with cross-stitch, and the first chart that I will show you is my Alice in Wonderland stitch along, which is a free chart from Owl Forest Embroidery. They release new parts for this chart every 2 weeks on Friday, and so there was just a part released yesterday, which I actually stitched the part that was released yesterday, even though I am behind on the charts. So here's where I was the last time you saw it, and here it is now. Since the last time you saw it, I made a few changes to the chart. So this here was supposed to be like a leg with a foot, and I decided I wanted to change it a little bit because I like the video games Kingdom Hearts. I've talked about it a lot, and those video games have Disney worlds in the game. And so Alice in Wonderland is actually in the very first Kingdom Hearts games, and it's in some of the other Kingdom Hearts games too. And when you're in that world, there's like a special keyblade, which a keyblade is what you use as like your weapon in those games. And there's a special keyblade for that world that's called Lady Luck. So I decided I would add the Lady Luck keyblade to my Alice in Wonderland stitch along because I figured I want to combine Kingdom Hearts and Alice in Wonderland kind of like the video games are. So I added the keyblade, which is a chart that I found on Etsy from, what's the name of the place? The Etsy store, Lipstick Lullaby. I will link it down below. She has other like Kingdom Hearts keyblade charts because there's keyblades for like all the different worlds and just everything. There's so many keyblades. And so I added the keyblade, and then I also stitched the part that came out yesterday, even though like I said I'm behind on this chart. I will probably always be behind, but the new part had the blue caterpillar and then like the little thing he's sitting on. So I did that part, so that part's done. And my plan for this chart is to work on it every Friday because the parts are released every 2 weeks. So if I can finish the part that comes out on like the Friday it comes out, then I'll have the next Friday to where there's not a part that comes out where I can hopefully like get kind of caught up because I still need to finish this bottom corner here. So I am stitching this on 18 count fabric that I dyed myself using mostly silky threads. I am using a couple Karen water lilies that I had from other charts. I think from my Mirabilia Alice chart that I stitched a long time ago, there was some leftovers, so I've just been kind of throwing in stuff. And I also use beads. I ended up using beads on the keyblade. So for like that, the black is all beads because I was just like, I had them out because I also put beads on the gloves. So there's that. I've been trying to use up some of like my leftover like beads and stuff just wherever I can kind of throw them because I don't really know what else I'll do with them when like I don't really have a use for them after the chart's been stitched. So there was that. And then another chart that I worked on a little bit was Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Samplers. I don't have a picture. I didn't take a picture of where I was the last time you saw it, so I have no idea really where it was the last time you saw it, but here it is now. I am stitching this on 22 count fabric that I dyed myself using a combination of black and navy blue Rit dye, and I am using DMC 666 1/1 full cross. So this chart, I actually pulled it out to stitch on it because I have been thinking about restarting it on like a 16 or 18 count, but I also am not sure because I tried to dye a piece of 16 count and it did not turn out exactly the same, and I really love the way that this fabric looks with this floss. So I pulled it out to stitch on it to see if I want to keep stitching on it, and I think I'm just going to keep going on it. So this here is the whole top row, and yeah, so I don't really want to lose the progress, plus I just like the way that this one looks a lot. So, but I'm never starting a project on 22 count ever again. If anyone ever hears me mention buying 22 count ever, just be like, no, watch this video, you said never again, because stitching 1/1, your thread likes to slip underneath like the thread of the fabric, and so I have to stitch really slowly, and I have to stitch to where on the back of the fabric it goes like diagonal lines instead of straight up and down, otherwise they'll just slip right underneath the threads of the fabric, and it's just super annoying and it slows me down a lot. But yeah, so there was that. And then the next thing that I worked on, and I want to keep this project out until it's done, and hopefully it won't take that long. It was Link and Zelda from the Etsy shop Unique Door Sign, and here's where it was the last time you saw it, and here it is now. So I finished all the black, and I finished all the words where it says it's dangerous to play alone, which is like a little thing from the video games. The guy gives you the sword, and then he's like, it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and so yeah. But I like this chart a lot. There's the hair. I'm stitching this on 40 count, 1/1 full cross. I'm not a huge fan of 40 count. It's definitely not going to become like my new thing to stitch everything on 40 count. I can't do it. And wait, I'm stitching 1/2 full cross. I don't know if I said 1/1. And so yeah, all that's left is to do the colors. I want to get the colors finished and just get this finished this year so that I can have another whip finished and off my list. So there's that. And then the next two projects that I worked on, I'm gonna have to kind of explain my whole thought process behind like how I'm working on these projects. Is I have a lot of things that I started during like Stitch Mania and like in 2019 where I was doing a lot of starts that I didn't work on that much. I worked on them for like a few days, and then I had basically just started them and then put them away. And so a lot of them, when I look on Pattern Keeper, are still a very low percentage. And so I was like, I want to get some of these to a higher percentage. And so what I did is I decided that I want to get all of my full coverage charts that are in Pattern Keeper to at least 5% as like my starting, and then after that I'll figure out like a higher percent that I want to go to. And so I made a list of my charts that are under 5%, and I'm going to pull them out one at a time, get them to that 5% mark on Pattern Keeper, and then pull out a new one. So the first chart that I had pulled out was Game of Thrones. When I pulled it out, it was like at 3 or 4% when I pulled it out. Here's where it was when I pulled it out, and I got it to the 5% mark, and so this chart has been put back away, but I did make some progress. So I started a new diagonal because I am stitching this one on the diagonal. I'm doing 20 stitch wide diagonals using Pattern Keeper because on Pattern Keeper it will put the diagonal lines in for you, and I am stitching this on 28 count 1/1 full cross. So there's that. And yeah, I hate 1/1 full cross, and I have to say that most of the projects I've been doing right now are full cross and not tent, and I am really missing tent stitch right now, so I cannot wait to get a project that is tent. And then the next project that I was working on, and I'm still working on it to get it to 5%, is Dear Alice, which is a chart by Artisy. Oh, for Game of Thrones, I also wanted to mention this was a Tilt and Crafts chart that's no longer available. Some of her charts that she has that come out that are like based off of movies, like she had Harry Potter ones, some of them are limited edition and you can only buy them temporarily. She only has like a limited amount of them that she can sell. So that's not available anymore. But if you want Game of Thrones charts, because someone had commented on one of my videos, there are other places. I know that Charting Creations has a couple, like, they aren't explicitly labeled Game of Thrones because obviously copyright, but she has like one that's like a Daenerys chart with like the dragon. I can't remember who the artist is, but I actually had bought a chart from that artist recently, so I'll have it linked down below. And then also on Thread Geeks, there are a lot of just movie in general theme charts. There's Game of Thrones, there's like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, there was some Outlander, there's like a ton of, I mean, it's called Thread Geeks, so there's a ton of like geeky themed charts on Thread Geeks if anyone is looking for things like that. So there's that. Okay, but the next chart I worked on was Dear Alice, which is charted by Artisy, and this chart takes forever to get the percentages increased. So to get it, I started at 3%, and so I need to get it up to 5%, and it takes 2,000 stitches to go up a percent, and it's at like, wait, no, I think I started at only 2%. I was at like 2.14%. Now I am at 3.7%. And so yeah, I still have a lot of stitches to go. There's like another 2,300 stitches or something I have to do. But here it is. I forgot, insert here, where it was before I started. And I've made pretty good progress. This is over 3,000 stitches that I put into this. It's 18 count, 2 over 1 full cross. Full cross takes forever compared to 10 stitch. It's going so slow. And so like I said, this is pretty good progress though, because I didn't have any of this stitched before. So all of this here is new. I started this one in the bottom left corner. This is the bottom right corner. So this is going across now the whole width of the chart. And I am stitching this one extreme cross country by color with the black. And yeah, there's so many stitches left. There's like 21,000 stitches of black left, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's never ending. So that was all of my cross stitch progress. And then for purchases, I was just gonna put up little pictures of the things I purchased. 2 charts. To me, they're like a matching couple chart, even though they're not from the same company. But I got the chart Yennefer by Charting Creations, and I will insert here that chart. So it's from the show Witcher on Netflix. I love that show. I've been reading the books. I have the video game. It's like, I love it. And for that chart, I actually ordered a kit from Charting Creations. Their kits take longer to get because they have so many orders and obviously COVID and everything. So it said it would take up to 30 business days, I think, for me to get it, or for them to ship it out. And then it's coming from Canada, so who knows how long shipping will take from Canada, even though I live right by Canada. So I'm always just like, it's right there. Canada is right next to me. But anyways, shipping takes forever. And then I ended up also getting the chart called, what was it called? It's just called The Witcher. So it's Geralt from Witcher, and like I said, to me it's just like a perfect match to have her and him. And then that chart was from Thread Geeks, and I ordered the large size because that came in 3 different sizes. And ordering the large size, I figured out that if I stitch him on 25 count and her on 28 count, they will be almost the same finish size. So yes, they'll just be a perfect little couple hanging on my wall in like 40 years. I don't know. So that was all my cross stitch stuff though. And then for knitting, first thing to show I finished the Diaphanous Raglan by Jessie May Designs. And so yes, I'm wearing it. I love it. The sleeves, it has sleeves that they're not too long, they're not too short. It's amazing. And I stitched that using Knit Picks lace in the color Rhododendron, which is the hot pink, and then you hold it double with a fingering weight yarn. And I used the fingering weight yarn from So Livy Dyes Yarn in the May color, I think it was, which was Artemis from Lore Olympus, and I love it so much. So I did that. And then I have another almost finish, which is the Look at My Holes from James and Watts, and I love it. So I finished the body. I just need to do the sleeves, but like, I don't know, for some reason, and they're short sleeves, but for some reason doing sleeves is just like, sleeves? Really? I don't know why. I think it's because I don't really like using magic loop, and then I also don't really like using, if you use like a shorter cable, then it's like harder to knit. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it made sense, I don't know. But yeah, so I still need to do the sleeves. I love this though. And then for this one I used Knit Picks Shine, which is a sport weight in the color Current, and I love it. I plan on making, James and Watts is friends with Jessie May Designs, and together they like came out with this set. So this is the Look at My Holes. She made a tank top that you can wear underneath that's called As Friends. So their hashtag like for Instagram and stuff is Look at My Holes as Friends. And then I plan on making the tank top in this color from Knit Picks, which is, where is it? Grapefruit. So these two, I love it. Yes, kind of fall colors. I'm ready for fall. It was like 100 degrees last week, combined with smoke from the wildfires in Canada, and I'm just like, oh, it's great. So yeah, that was my knitting. After I finish this, I plan on making the Sailor Venus sweater, which I showed the yarn for in my last video, and yeah, I'm excited for a new cast on. So that is everything though that I have to show, I think, unless you guys want to see, I ordered more yarn. I shouldn't order more yarn, but I ordered yarn to make the Ember, I think it's called Ember Sweater. I can't remember who it's by. I'll insert a picture. And my plan is to make it, I don't know where the big one is, over here. I ordered Holst yarn, and I ordered this huge cone, and so the sweater is called Ember. You need like a color for the body, and then there's color work, and I wanted to make it kind of almost exactly the way that it was in the picture on Ravelry. So I ordered a blue and then like beigey color and then the orange, and it's supposed to just be a lovely long sleeve oversized fall sweater. So I can't wait to make that. And I'm also excited to work with the Holst and see how it is. Holst is very like affordable yarn, but yeah, so there's that. That is all that I have to show though, I think. I think I'm going to be making a whip braid after this, which is very intimidating because all my whips are back here, so I'm gonna have to pull all these out and yeah, go through those. So if you want to see a whip braid, that should hopefully be coming soon. And yeah, I'll see everyone in my next video. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing.